Hi students, today we are going to see History Unit 3, World War II. We are going to see World War II. Already we have seen World War I and World War I and 2 between aftermath பற்றி பார்த்தோம் இல்லையா. இப்போ World War II பார்க்க போகிறோம். In this lesson, the learning objective is to acquaint ourselves about the political and the economic developments after World War I and ultimately lead to the World War II. ஸோ வேர்ல்டு வார் ஒன்னோட எக்கனாமிக் பொலிட்டிக்கலோடைய பவரை காட்டுறதுக்காக எடுக்கப்பட்ட அந்த முடிவுகள் தான் என்ன, இந்த வேர்ல்டு வார் டூக்கு ஒரு பாலமாக அமைஞ்சிருச்சு. டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் த கோர்ஸ் ஆஃப் த வார் அண்ட் ஜென்டர் இன் த பர்டிகுலர் டு லேர்ன் த மெயின் ஈவெண்ட்ஸ் விச் வேர் டேர்னிங் பாயிண்ட் இன் த வார். ஸோ செகண்ட் வேர்ல்டு வாருக்கு என்ன டேர்னிங் பாயிண்ட்டுங்கிறத இந்த லெசனில் பார்க்க போகிறோம். To know the effects of the World War II, rise of the United States and the USSR as the superpower, beginning of the age of nuclear weapons in high defense and spending estimated of the international agencies to promote peace and development in all countries, to understand the Holocaust and the mass killing of Jews in Nazi. ஸோ ஆல்ரெடி நமக்கு என்ன தெரியும், சுப்ரீம் பவரில் யுனைடெட் ஸ்டேட்ஸு ருஷ்யாலாம் இருக்கிறாங்க. ஸோ அதை டெவலப் பண்ணுறதுக்கு அவங்க செஞ்ச வெப்பன்ஸு அதெல்லாமே அது பீஸை குலைக்கிற மாதிரி இருந்துச்சு. செகண்ட் வேர்ல்டு வார்க்கு அது ஒரு ஸ்டார்டிங் பாயிண்ட் ஆகிடுச்சு. அதுக்கப்புறம் நம்ம ஹிட்லர் லாஸ்ட்லாம் பார்த்தா ஹிட்லர் என்ன பண்ண, ஜூதர்களை கொண்டதால் அவங்கெல்லாம் சேர்ந்து என்னாச்சு, அது ஒரு மாஸ் ஈவெண்ட்டாக மாறி போயிடுச்சு அப்படி சொல்கிறாங்க. டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் த வெல்ஃபேர் ஸ்டேட் அண்ட் வெல்ஃபேர் ஆஃப் த வெஸ்டர்ன் யூரோப் ஆஃப்டர் வேர்ல்டு வார் டூ. ஸோ நம்ம இந்த லெசன் ஃபுல்லாகவே எப்படி வேர்ல்டு வார் டூவில் சஃபர் ஆனாங்க, எதுக்காக வேர்ல்டு வார் ஸ்டார்ட் ஆச்சு, அதுக்கப்புறம் என்னென்னலாம் முடிவுகள் எடுத்து வேர்ல்டு வாரை ஸ்டாப் பண்ணாங்க அப்படிங்கிறத இந்த லெசனில் பார்க்க போகிறோம். Let us see the introductions.
History Unit 3 World War II. The First World War was fought from 1914 to 1918. Shattered the whole world. All the countries of the world were gravely weakened by the war. The harsh peace treaties created instabilities which resulted in emergence of Nazism and fascism. The political and economic developments after World War I ultimately led to the World War II. The Second World War began on 1st September 1939 and ended on 2nd September 1945. It is not any exaggeration, it's a fact. Yes, of course, the war was so harsh which held on land, air and water and created so much of destruction. Both the wars were fought on several fronts across Europe, Asia and Africa. There held many wars in the world. These two wars are referred to as world wars because most of the countries of the world indulged in war either directly or indirectly. The total number of deaths in World War I is estimated to be 20 million, of whom 9.7 million were soldiers and 21 million wounded. In World War II, the total death toll was 24 million military personnel and nearly 50 million civilians. Here you can see a comparison of pie charts. During World War I, the death toll of military was 86% and civilians only 14%. On the other hand, in World War II, the military death toll was 46%, but the civilians was 54%. In both the world wars, there arose a clash between two groups. In World War II, the clash was between the Allied powers, Great Britain, USA, France, and Russia. Axis powers, Germany, Italy, and Japan. The end of World War II signaled a change in the world and political configurations among the major powers. In addition, An era of large scale social and economic change across the world was ushered in. Now we'll see the causes, course, and effects of the World War II. First, we'll see the causes. The devastation caused by the World War I was of such magnitude that it was referred to as the Great War or the war to end all the wars. The belligerent nations, especially the Allies, had no desire for a second prolonged conflict, and this was the main driving force behind their actions after the end of World War I. Germany and Treaty of Versailles 1919. The Treaty of Versailles, ending the World War I, was signed in 1919 in the month of June. Among the many clauses of the treaty, three in particular caused great resentment among the Germans. Number one, Germany was forced to give up territories to the west, north, and east of the German border. Germany had to disarm and was allowed to retain only a very restricted armed force, army, navy, and the air force, as reparations for the war. The Germans offered to pay 100 million gold marks, approximately $25 billion. Failure of the League of Nations. The League was expected to mediate between countries and take action against countries which indulged in military aggression. The Allied nations determined to maintain a non interventionist attitude, and in consequence, the League remained an ineffectual international body. The League lacked money so that it could not maintain military to control the countries. Example, when Japan captured Manchuria, Italy invaded Ethiopia, and Germany occupied Sudetenland, the League acted as an observer. This led the way for the Second World War. Post-war crisis and Germany. Treaty of Versailles, especially the imposition of penal reparations, caused great discontent in Germany. The problems which many countries faced in the post-World War I decades led to the rise of extreme right-wing dictatorships in Italy by Mussolini, in Germany by Hitler, and in Spain by Franco. There are several pictures of the 1920s when ordinary people had to carry money in the wheelbarrows to buy bread. This was blamed on the war reparations which Germany was forced to pay, though in the final analysis the demands for war reparations were moderated over several rounds of negotiations. Now we'll see the rise of Adolf Hitler. The German people were demoralized. The reparations and the other clauses in the Treaty of Versailles caused acute discontent and hardship. The origin of the German fascism goes back to 1919 when a group of 7 men met in Munich and founded the National Socialist German Workers' Party, abbreviated as Nazi Party. One of them was Adolf Hitler. During World War I, he served in the Bavarian army. He was a gifted speaker. In 1923, Hitler attempted to capture power in Bavaria. His premature launch of the National Revolution on the outskirts of the Munich landed him in prison. During his time in prison, he wrote Mein Kampf, My Struggle, an autobiographical book containing his political ideas. President von Hindenburg designated Hitler as Chancellor in the year 1933. The Nazi state of Hitler, known as Third Reich, brought an end to the parliamentary democracy. Hitler replaced the flag of the Weimar Republic by the swastika banners of the National Socialism. The army of brown-shirted and jack-booted stormtroopers was expanded. The Hitler Youth was created and the Labor Front set up. The total state control was extended over the press, the theater, the cinema, radio, and over education. The Nazi Party's propaganda was led by Joseph Goebbels. The Gestapo or the secret police was formed and run by Himmler. In August 1934, Hindenburg died and Hitler, apart from being the Chancellor, became both President and Commander-in-Chief of the armed forces. Now we'll see Alice and the non-intervention. There were also acts of aggression by Italy and Japan. Italy invaded Ethiopia in 1935 and Albania in 1939. In 1931, Japan invaded Manchuria, and in 1937 it invaded China and seized Beijing. All these were ignored by the Allies, and the League of Nations was unable to take any action. In spite of all these manifestations of military activity by Germany, Italy, and Japan, Britain and France continued to be non-interventionist. The United States was totally indifferent to the outside world and was concerned with the revival of the economy after the Great Depression. Now we'll see the important part, Munich Pact. Hitler gave an assurance in the Munich Pact that Germany would not attack any other country. This was broken immediately. In 1939, Hitler invaded Czechoslovakia, and then Poland was attacked next. And this was the final act which resulted in the declaration of the war by Britain and France against Germany. In Britain, Prime Minister Chamberlain resigned in 1940, and Winston Churchill, who had always warned about Hitler and his military ambitions, became Prime Minister. Now we'll see course of the war. Course means the happenings of the war. The nature of the war. World War II was fought on two distinct fronts, Europe and the Asia Pacific. World War II was a modern war fought with heavy military equipment such as tanks, submarines, battleships, aircraft carriers, fighter planes, and bomber planes. This was an expensive and prolonged war of the attrition. Look at this map. The countries shaded in orange color specifies the Axis powers. The countries shaded in green color specifies the Allied powers. In Europe, the war was fought by Allies against Germany and Italy. In Asia Pacific, the Allies fought Japan. Outbreak of the war. Britain and France declared war on Germany in September 1939. In June 1940, Italy joined Germany, and in September 1940, Japan also joined the Axis powers. The first years of the war were a time of spectacular successes of the German army. The German army followed a tactic of lightning strike, blitzkrieg, to storm into various countries and overrun them. The British Royal Navy continued to be the most powerful among the European naval forces and ensured that a seaborne invasion of Britain was not possible. However, the Britain depended on large-scale imports of food, raw materials, and industrial goods by sea from its empire and the US. To attack this, Germany developed a fleet of submarines which caused havoc, especially in the Atlantic Ocean area, by sinking a large number of civilian ships carrying supplies to Britain. Now we'll see the important events of the war. First is Battle of Britain. By July 1940, it was feared that the Germans were planning to invade Britain. In September 1940, London was bombed mercilessly, an action known as the Blitz. By October 1940, night bombing raids on London and other industrial cities began. This campaign failed because, with the aid of a newly developed and top secret device radar for detecting aircraft while still at a distance, the fighter planes of the Royal Air Force, Spitfires, and the Hurricanes were able to inflict severe losses on the German bombers. The Germans dropped their plans to invade Britain because of their failure of the air battle. Lend-Lease Program 1941 to 1945. President Roosevelt started a program of Lend-Lease in March 1941. Arms, food, military equipments and other supplies were sent to Britain, disguised as a loan, which would be returned after use. This augmented the resource of Britain to a great extent. Between 1941 and 1945, the total aid under Lend-Lease amounted to $46.5 billion. Invasion of Russia from 1941 to 1942. In June 1941, the German army invaded Russia. The long-term objective of this move were to seize prime land for settling Germans, to destroy the communist regime, and also exploit Russia's natural resources, especially oil. But ultimately, the resistance by the Soviet army and the fierce Russian winter defeated the German army. Battle of Stalingrad, 17th July 1942 to 2nd February 1943. In August 1942, the Germans attacked Stalingrad. Stalingrad was a large industrial city producing armaments and tractors. Capturing the city would cut Soviet transport links with southern Russia, and Stalingrad would then enable the invading Germans to have access to the oil fields of the Caucasus. In addition, seizing the city that bore Soviet leader Stalin would serve as a great personal and propaganda victory for Hitler. German was planners hoped to achieve that end with Fallblau, that is Operation Blue. On June 28, 1942, operations began with significant German victories. Altogether, over one-tenth of Russia's population died. Yet the people remained loyal to the government despite Hitler's hopes of an anti-Stalin revolution. They successfully defended the city of Stalingrad. It stopped the German advance into Soviet Union and marked the turning of the tide of war in favor of the Allies. Russians consider it to be one of the greatest battles of their great patriotic war. Battle of El Alamein 1942. The Allied forces defeated the German and the Italian forces at El Alamein in North Africa. The German army was chased across the desert out of North Africa. This provided the base for the Allied forces to invade Italy. Surrender of Italy 1943. Mussolini had been thrown out and the new government of Italy surrendered to the Allies in 1943. However, the Germans set Mussolini up in a puppet regime in the north. Mussolini was killed in April 1945 by Italian partisans. End of Hitler. The Allied forces under the command of General Eisenhower invaded Normandy in France. Slowly, the German army was forced back, but the Germans fought back and the war continued for nearly another year and finally ended in May 1945. Hitler committed suicide in 1945 in the month of April. War in the Asia Pacific region. Japan had entertained visions of a glorious empire very much on the same lines as Hitler. The Japanese army invaded Manchuria in 1931. China appealed to the League of Nations, but this was in vain since the Western powers were not interested in being involved in a region so far from their sphere of interest. Pearl Harbor, 1941. On December 1941, Japan attacked American naval installations in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, without any warning. The idea was to cripple American Pacific Fleet so that Japan would not face any opposition in its offensive against Southeast Asian countries. Many battleships and numerous fighter planes were destroyed. The United States declared war on Japan. Most importantly, Pearl Harbor incident brought the United States with its enormous resources into the war as a part of the Allies. Japanese aggression in Southeast Asia. The Japanese had spectacular success in their plan to extend their empire throughout Southeast Asia. Guam, the Philippines, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, the Dutch East Indies, and Burma all fell to the Japanese. Many Indians walked all the way from Burma to the Indian border facing many hardships. Many died of disease and exhaustion. Those who remained suffered under the Japanese. Battle of Midway and the Battle of Guadalcanal 1942. The US Navy defeated the Japanese Navy in the Battle of Midway, which turned the tide in favor of the Allies. The Battle of Guadalcanal in the Solomon Islands was a combined offensive involving the army and the navy and lasted for several months. Both were the crushing defeat for the Japanese. Hiroshima and Nagasaki in the month of August in 1945. The Japanese generals refused to surrender and finally US dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima. As the Japanese still refused to surrender and another atom bomb was dropped on Nagasaki. Japan ultimately announced surrender on 15th August 1945. Thus, the Second World War ended. Now we'll see the effects of the war. New geopolitical power alignment. World War II changed the world in fundamental ways. The world was polarized into two main blocs led by the superpowers, one led by the United States with the pronounced anti-communist ideology and other led by the Soviet Russia. Europe was divided into two, communist and the non-communist. Nuclear proliferation. The United States and the Soviet Union entered into a race to have more nuclear powered weapons. They built a large stockpile of such weapons. Defense spending skyrocketed in many countries. The international agencies. Many international agencies, in particular the United Nations, the World Bank, and the International Monetary Fund, came into existence, providing a forum for countries large and small. The main effect of the war was the colonial powers were forced to give independence to former colonies in a process of decolonization. India was the first to achieve independence. After the completion of the war, many hidden secrets brought to light. One such incident was the Holocaust and its fallout. After Hitler came to power, the Jews were persecuted in many ways. They were deprived of their civil rights, their properties were confiscated, and many were confined to ghettos. Eventually, the Nazis came up with the notion of the final solution, which was to exterminate the Jews completely. nearly 6 million European Jews were killed in these extermination camps. The word Holocaust is used to describe the genocide of nearly 6 million Jews by the Germans during the World War II. Other ethnic groups, especially the Romani Gypsies, were also killed in the concentration camps. The UN efforts to protect the human rights on a global basis resulted in the constitution of UN Commission on Human Rights. Birth of Israel. A major outcome of the Holocaust was the creation of a state of Israel as a homeland for the Jews. Israel has occupied large parts of the Palestinian homelands. Israel derives vast support from the United States. Now we'll see the new international order. International agencies had been established after World War I, but the League of Nations unfortunately proved to be ineffectual. This ultimately resulted in the establishment of the United Nations, the World Bank, and the International Monetary Fund, with many associated organizations which deal with the basic issues of importance for all the societies and countries. United Nations. The first initiative for the United Nations came from the United States and Britain in 1941 when they issued a joint declaration known as the Atlantic Charter. This stated that after the destruction of the Nazi tyranny, there would be peace for all the countries so that all people could live their lives in freedom from fear and want. This declaration of the United Nations was accepted by 26 countries. The Charter of the United Nations was signed on June 26, 1945 by 51 nations. Now the United Nations has 193 members. The United Nations has five important organs: the General Assembly, the Security Council, the UN Secretariat, the International Court of Justice, the Economic and Social Council, ECOSOC. These are the important organs of the United Nations. The General Assembly and the Security Council act as the legislative wing. The UN Secretariat is the executive wing. The judicial wing is the International Court of Justice. The Economic and Social Council work as a coordinating wing. These organs have been working very successful in maintaining world peace. Now we'll see the World Bank. The World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, referred to as the Bretton Woods twins, were both established in 1945 after the Bretton Woods Conference in the year 1944. In recent years, the World Bank is actively promoting the achievements of the Millennium Development Goals, which aim at improving living standards, removing illiteracy, empowering women, and improving maternal and child health, improving the environment, and eradicating AIDS. Primary objective of the International Monetary Fund is to ensure financial stability and development across the world. The objectives of the IMF are to foster global monetary cooperation, secure financial stability, facilitate international trade, promote high employment and sustainable economic growth, and reduce poverty around the world. Post-war welfare states in Europe. The term welfare state refers to the concept that the government is responsible for the social and economic welfare of the people, thus expanding the role of the state beyond providing defense and maintaining law and order. In 1942, the Beveridge Report was published in the United Kingdom, proposed that the government should provide citizens with adequate income, healthcare, education, housing, and employment to overcome poverty and disease, which were the major impediments to the general welfare. After the war, the Labour Party was voted into power in Britain. It promised to undertake steps to look after the people from the cradle to the grave. Legislation was enacted to provide comprehensive free health coverage to the citizens through the National Health Service and monetary benefits like old age pensions and unemployment benefits, child care services, and family welfare services also. These are in addition to the universal free school education to all the children. We have come to the end of the lesson. Before concluding, we'll have a small recap. We acquainted that the political and economic developments after World War I